The grocery cart's wheel squealed like a wounded animal as Adam Bennett maneuvered around the corner of aisle 7. His 6-year-old daughter Lily hanging off the side, despite his repeated warnings about safety. The sound grated on his already frayed nerves, much like the mental calculations he was performing as he compared the price of generic pasta versus the name brand his daughter preferred. "Daddy, can we get the star-shaped ones? Please." Lily's eyes, identical to her mother's in both color and persuasive power, looked up at him imploringly. Adam sighed, comparing the prices again. 78 cents more for the star pasta. He'd picked up an extra shift at the warehouse this week. They could afford it. "All right, princess. But just this once, okay?" Lily's delighted smile was worth every penny of the difference. She carefully placed the box in their cart like it was made of glass, then resumed her position hanging off the side. "Lily, what did I tell you about a thunderous crash from the next aisle over cut him off?" Adam reacted instinctively, moving toward the sound while calling over his shoulder, "Stay with the cart, Lily." He rounded the corner to find a scene of chaos. A woman was reaching for something on the top shelf, her high-heeled boot slipping on the freshly waxed floor. Her arms windmilled as she fought for balance, sending a cascade of items from her overflowing shopping cart tumbling toward the ground. Adam lunged forward. His hands shot out, catching a bottle of expensive olive oil in one hand and a package of organic strawberries in the other. A third item, a glass jar of artisanal pasta sauce, he stopped with his forearm, wincing as it impacted but managing to prevent it from shattering on the floor. The woman finally regained her balance and turned, her eyes widening at the sight of Adam juggling her groceries. "Oh my God," she breathed, taking in the scene. "You have amazing reflexes." Adam gave a modest shrug as he carefully returned the items to her cart. "Warehouse worker. You either develop quick hands or you end up with a lot of broken merchandise." Now that the crisis was averted, Adam had a moment to actually look at the woman he'd helped. She was stunning, tall, and elegant in a casual way that nonetheless screamed money. Her dark hair was pulled back in a simple ponytail, but the watch on her wrist probably cost more than his monthly rent. "I'm Penelope," she said, extending a manicured hand. "Penelope Grayson, thank you for saving my groceries and my dignity." Her smile transformed her face from merely beautiful to breathtaking. "Adam Bennett," he replied, suddenly conscious of his calloused hand as it enveloped hers. "Happy to help." "Daddy," Lily appeared at his side, curiosity overwhelming her instructions to stay put. "What happened?" "Nothing, sweetheart. This nice lady almost had an accident with her groceries, that's all." Penelope's gaze shifted to Lily, her expression softening. "And who might you be?" "I'm Lily Bennett. I'm 6 3/4." Lily held up her fingers to illustrate the precise age, making both adults smile. "It's very nice to meet you, Lily Bennett, who is 6 3/4." Penelope crouched down slightly, meeting the girl at eye level, a gesture that immediately elevated her in Adam's estimation. Penelope glanced between them, seeming to make a decision. "Would you two let me buy you ice cream, as a thank you for saving my groceries?" Adam immediately felt his defenses rise. He didn't need charity, especially not from someone who clearly had money to spare while he counted pennies for pasta. "That's really not necessary, please, Daddy," Lily interrupted, already bouncing on the balls of her feet. "Please, please, please." Adam looked from his daughter's hopeful face to Penelope's warm smile and felt his resolve weaken. I guess a small cone wouldn't hurt. 20 minutes later, they sat at a small table outside an ice cream parlor next to the grocery store. Adam had insisted on paying for his own ice cream, but allowed Penelope to treat Lily, whose face was now smeared with chocolate despite the napkins Adam had tucked into her collar. "So, Adam," Penelope said, delicately licking her own vanilla cone, "do you always rescue damsels in distress in grocery stores, or was today special?" "Only on Tuesdays," he replied with a straight face before breaking into a smile. "Honestly, it was just instinct." Well, your instincts are impressive. She paused, studying him. Lily mentioned you work at a warehouse. Adam nodded, feeling that familiar twinge of inadequacy. Yeah, I'm a shift supervisor at Dina Pack. Been there about 4 years now. Daddy's super strong, Lily interjected, flexing her small arms in demonstration. He can carry me and all the groceries up the stairs when the elevator's broken. Is that so? Penelope's eyes sparkled with amusement. That is impressive. Adam felt himself relax a little. Unlike some people he'd met, Penelope didn't seem to be looking down on his job. It pays the bills, mostly. What about you? What do you do when you're not testing gravity with your groceries? Penelope laughed, the sound light and genuine. I run a company called Gray Matter Technologies. We develop medical devices. Adam nearly choked on his ice cream. Gray Matter was a household name. Their breakthrough in non-invasive glucose monitoring had revolutionized diabetes care a few years back. Wait, you're that Penelope Grayson, the CEO? She winced slightly. Guilty as charged. Does that make things weird now? It should have. Adam should have felt completely out of his depth, but something about the way she asked the question with genuine concern that her success might create a barrier made him shake his head. Nah. You still got ice cream on your nose just like the rest of us mortals. Penelope's hand flew to her nose, and Adam laughed. Made you look. Her mock outrage dissolved into laughter, and Lily giggled along, though she clearly didn't understand the joke. Daddy, I need to go potty, Lily announced suddenly, with the lack of self-consciousness only children possess. Bathroom's inside, Adam said, starting to rise. I can take her, Penelope offered. If that's okay with you both. Adam hesitated for a moment, his protective instincts flaring. But Lily was already nodding enthusiastically, and something in Penelope's expression told him she understood his concern. We'll be right back, she promised, taking Lily's sticky hand. 2 minutes, tops. Adam watched them go, Lily already chattering away to her new friend. His phone buzzed with a text from his boss, asking if he could cover another shift tomorrow. Adam sighed, typing back an affirmative. The extra money would help, especially with Lily outgrowing her winter coat. When Penelope and Lily returned, his daughter's face and hands were suspiciously clean. We had a little wash-up, Penelope explained. Hope that's okay. More than okay, thanks. Adam checked his watch and stood up. We should probably head out. I've got to get dinner started, and this little monster has homework. I'm not a monster. Lily protested, though her growl undermined her argument. Penelope laughed again, then seemed to hesitate. This might be presumptuous, but could I get your number? Maybe we could do this again sometime. Adam blinked in surprise. You want my number? Unless that's weird, she backpedaled. I just thought, no, it's fine, Adam said quickly, pulling out his phone. They exchanged numbers, the process feeling strangely momentous. It was really nice meeting you both, Penelope said as they parted ways in the parking lot. Thanks again for the grocery rescue. Anytime, Adam replied, surprised to find he meant it. As he buckled Lily into her booster seat in his aging Honda, she asked, Is Miss Penelope your girlfriend now, Daddy? Adam laughed. No, sweetie, we just met. But she's pretty, and she smells like cookies. Does she now? Adam smiled, starting the car. Well, we'll see if she calls. To his surprise, she texted him that very night after Lily was asleep. Thanks again for today. Your daughter is delightful. Would you two like to join me for lunch on Saturday? No pressure. Adam stared at the message for a long time before replying. Lily would love that. So would I. Saturday arrived with a mixture of anticipation and anxiety. Adam changed his shirt 3 times before settling on a simple blue button-down that Lily declared made his eyes super blue, Daddy. They met Penelope at a casual restaurant with a children's play area. Adam had expected somewhere upscale and had prepared to feel out of place, but Penelope had chosen perfectly. I figured Lily might get bored with adult conversation, she explained as they settled into a booth near the play structure. That was thoughtful, thanks. Adam watched as Lily immediately made friends with another little girl on the slide. She's never met a stranger. She's wonderful, Penelope said sincerely. You're doing a great job with her. Adam felt a swell of pride mixed with the familiar ache. I try. It's not always easy doing it solo. Penelope's eyes softened with understanding. If you don't mind me asking. Her mom left when Lily was 2, Adam said, having grown accustomed to explaining the absence. Decided parenthood and marriage weren't for her after all. The divorce was finalized a year later. I'm sorry, Penelope said, and unlike when most people said it, she sounded like she genuinely was. That must have been incredibly difficult. Adam shrugged, watching Lily laugh as she went down the slide. It was, still is sometimes, but honestly, we're better off. Lily deserves people in her life who want to be there. Penelope nodded, her gaze following his to the playing child. You're absolutely right. The conversation shifted to lighter topics. Adam learned that Penelope had built her company from a small startup she'd founded right out of college, turning her biomedical engineering degree into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. She spoke of her work with genuine passion, explaining complex concepts in ways that made Adam feel included rather than ignorant. In return, he told her about his journey from high school football star with a college scholarship to a young father who dropped out to support his unexpected family, working his way up from warehouse floor staff to shift supervisor. I'm taking online classes now, he admitted. Business management. It's slow going, but I want to set a good example for Lily about finishing what you start. That's admirable, Penelope said. And impressive, balancing work, parenthood, and school. Their food arrived, and Adam called Lily back to the table. To his pleasant surprise, Penelope easily incorporated the girl into their conversation, asking about her school and friends with genuine interest. As they were finishing their meals, Penelope's phone rang. She glanced at it and frowned. I'm so sorry, I need to take this. It's work. She stepped away, speaking in low, authoritative tones. When she returned, her expression was apologetic. I hate to cut this short, but there's an issue at the lab I need to address. Of course, Adam said, understanding completely. Duty calls. Can we do this again? She asked, and the hopefulness in her voice made something flutter in Adam's chest. We'd like that, he said, and Lily nodded enthusiastically beside him. What started as lunch became a regular occurrence over the next few weeks. Penelope joined them for pizza and movie night at Adam's modest apartment, not batting an eye at the worn furniture or the building's questionable elevator. She helped Lily with an art project for school, getting glitter in her hair and laughing about it for days afterward. In turn, Adam and Lily attended a charity gala Penelope had organized, Lily proudly wearing her fancy dress and Adam feeling only slightly out of place in his one good suit. Penelope stayed by their side the entire evening, introducing them as my special guests in a way that made it clear they belonged there with her one evening. After Lily had been put to bed following a day at the park, Adam and Penelope sat on his small balcony, sharing a bottle of wine. Can I ask you something? Adam said, turning his glass in his hands, of course. Why me? You could be with someone from your world, someone with, I don't know, stock options and vacation homes. Penelope was quiet for a moment. Do you know what attracted me to you that first day? Besides your heroic grocery catching abilities? Adam shook his head, genuinely curious. The way you looked at Lily. There was so much love there, but also respect. You weren't just caring for her, you were raising her to be her own person. Penelope set her wine glass down. Do you know how rare that is? To find someone who knows what really matters. She leaned closer. I've dated the men with stock options. They cared about appearances and connections. You care about people. That's worth more to me than any vacation home. When she kissed him, Adam felt something shift into place, like finding the last puzzle piece you didn't even know was missing. Their relationship deepened over the following months. Penelope became a fixture in their lives, bringing not just her presence but her perspective. She encouraged Adam in his studies, sometimes sitting across the kitchen table from him with her own work while Lily colored nearby. Adam found himself falling in love with not just her beauty or her success, but with her kindness, her sharp intelligence, and the gentle way she'd become a part of Lily's life without trying to replace anyone. There were challenges, of course. The first time they were photographed together at a restaurant, Adam's face appeared on a business tabloid with the caption, "Gray Matter CEO's Mystery Man." The comments online were predictably cruel, questioning what someone like Penelope saw in an ordinary warehouse worker. Adam had almost called things off that night, convinced he was dragging Penelope down, but she'd shown up at his door with determination in her eyes. "Don't you dare let them win," she'd said fiercely. "What we have is real. They don't get a vote." The first time Penelope suggested they look at houses together, 6 months into their relationship, Adam balked. The gulf between their financial situations was something he'd grown more comfortable with, but this brought it sharply back into focus. "I can't contribute equally to something you can afford," he'd said plainly. "Who said anything about equal financial contribution?" Penelope had countered. "Relationships aren't balance sheets, Adam. You contribute in countless ways that have nothing to do with money." Still, it had taken weeks of honest conversations and compromises before Adam agreed to house hunting. They found a place that felt right, not ostentatious, but comfortable, with a yard for Lily and space for all of them to grow. Penelope insisted on putting both their names on the deed, structuring things so Adam's contributions matched his means while still giving him equal ownership. The day they moved in, Adam watched as Penelope helped Lily arrange stuffed animals on her new bed, the two of them debating the merits of whether Bear should sit next to or in front of Elephant. "I think I'm going to ask her to marry me," Adam told his best friend Mark, who was helping him assemble furniture in the living room. Mark raised an eyebrow. "You sure about that? It's a big step." "I've never been more sure of anything," Adam replied, realizing as he said it how true it was. The proposal happened on a Tuesday, exactly 1 year after they'd met. Adam arranged for Lily to stay with his parents and took Penelope to the grocery store where they'd first encountered each other. "What are we doing here?" she asked, laughing as he led her to aisle 7. "I needed to pick up a few things," he said casually, though his heart was pounding so hard he was sure she could hear it. When they rounded the corner to the exact spot where she'd nearly dropped her groceries a year earlier, Penelope gasped. The aisle had been decorated with fairy lights and flowers, and a small table with champagne stood where her shopping cart had been. What on earth? She breathed, turning to find Adam down on one knee. "1 year ago, I caught your groceries before they fell," he said, his voice steady despite his nerves. "I had no idea I was also catching my future. You've brought so much joy and love into our lives, Pen. Lily and I both adore you." He pulled out a ring box. The diamond was modest, but the design was unique, created with input from both Adam and Lily. "Will you marry me?" Tears welled in Penelope's eyes. "You arranged all this." "Here," Adam nodded, with a little help from the store manager. Apparently, the CEO of Gray Matter might get engaged in our store was a compelling argument. Penelope laughed through her tears. "You are incredible, Adam Bennett. And yes, absolutely yes, I will marry you." The ring fit perfectly, and the champagne tasted sweeter than any Adam had ever had, but neither compared to the feeling of Penelope in his arms, whispering, "I love you," against his lips. They were married 6 months later in a ceremony that reflected them both elegant but unpretentious. Lily served as flower girl, taking her duties so seriously that several guests commented on her intense concentration as she precisely dropped petals along the aisle. The most meaningful moment for Adam, however, came during the vows. Penelope had prepared special words not just for him, but for Lily as well, kneeling down to promise his daughter that she would always respect her place as the first girl in Daddy's heart, while hoping to be a loving addition to their family. There wasn't a dry eye in the house, least of all Adam's. Life as a married couple brought its own adjustments. Adam completed his business degree and, with Penelope's encouragement, left the warehouse to join Gray Matter's operations team. Some employees whispered about favoritism, but Adam quickly silenced the critics with his work ethic and insight into improving the company's logistics. "You got this job because you're qualified," Penelope reminded him whenever doubts crept in. "Being married to me just meant you got an interview. Everything else is all you." 2 years into their marriage, they welcomed a son, Christopher, whose arrival made their family feel complete in a way Adam hadn't known he was missing. Watching Lily with her baby brother so gentle and protective filled him with pride. "She gets that from you," Penelope told him one night as they watched Lily reading a picture book to the baby, making different voices for each character. "That capacity for love." "I don't know," Adam replied, wrapping an arm around his wife's shoulders. "I think she's learning from the best example I know." He pressed a kiss to Penelope's temple. "Thank you." "For what?" "For falling. For letting me catch you. For building this life with me." Penelope smiled up at him, the same warm smile that had captivated him that first day. "Best fall I ever took." 5 years after that fateful day in the grocery store, Adam found himself back in aisle 7, this time with both Lily, now 11, and practically a teenager, Dad, and 3-year-old Christopher, who was determined to push the cart himself despite barely being able to see over the handle. "Careful there, buddy," Adam cautioned, keeping a hand ready to prevent disaster. "I do it myself," Christopher insisted, his expression so like his mother's when she was determined that Adam had to smile, all right, but slowly. Lily rolled her eyes in that newly acquired preteen way. "He's going to crash into something. Then we'll deal with it," Adam replied calmly, "just like we always do." A familiar voice called his name, and Adam turned to see Penelope approaching from the next aisle, her own cart filled with ingredients for the dinner party they were hosting that weekend. "I found that specialty cheese you wanted," she said, holding up a package triumphantly. The deli counter had it after all. "My hero," Adam replied with a grin. Penelope leaned in to kiss him quickly, then crouched to ask Christopher about his cart-pushing adventures. As Adam watched his family, this miraculous, blended, perfect in its imperfections family, he felt a wave of gratitude so powerful, it almost took his breath away. From a chance encounter with falling groceries had grown this life he could never have imagined for himself. A partnership built on respect and love, children thriving under their care, and a future that felt secure not just financially but emotionally. "Earth to Dad," Lily said, waving a hand in front of his face. "You're staring into space again." "Just thinking about how lucky we are," Adam replied honestly. Lily considered this, then nodded with unexpected seriousness. "Yeah, we are." Penelope stood, taking Christopher's other hand to help him navigate the cart. She caught Adam's eye over their son's head and smiled that same smile that had changed everything 5 years ago. "Ready to head home?" she asked. Adam nodded, his heart full. "With you 3, always." As they made their way to the checkout, Adam reflected that sometimes the most important things we catch in life aren't groceries at all, they're the moments, the connections, the loves that transform us. And for that lesson, he would be forever grateful for a squeaky cartwheel, a slippery floor, and the woman who'd fallen into his life as unexpectedly as those groceries had nearly fallen to the ground.